Hi, y'all. Pretty nice day out there. Kind of a hot one, as I see. Uh, Hopefully, I can get the cigar lit. Bear with me. Yeah. Screw it. You know what? I'll get it lit in a minute here. I gotta get to doing this video here. Way I don't get kicked out. Well, if I do, I do. Anyway. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go fishing here in a bit too. See if I can get a line, drop a line, get something. I want to talk to you about some things that have that have concerned me. And if you're one of my friends on Facebook, I'm just going to tell you this. I don't like anymore to really go back and forth and get into long, pointless debates on there, especially with people that are ignorant and ruled by their emotions. So what I do is I make these videos and I send them private message to people that I think are going to get something out of them. Or if you subscribe to my channel, which I would appreciate you if you did, I really would appreciate that. You'll watch it on here. And if I do send you this video, it's obvious I consider you an intellectual equal that can think logically, has done his research, and knows what's going on, and isn't obsessed with certain ideals. Kind of like that video I sent you about the people from South Africa, the South African refugees that are of European descent that Trump kind of went out of his way to help. And because their lives were under attack, and you see how biased the news is. And there is a concern on my behalf of white genocide, that it's going to happen, that could happen. And if you see all the mainstream news sources, especially like MSNBC, CNN, anything on the left that's connected with Marxism, they're behind this white genocide idea. It's not a myth. It's actually real. They want it to happen. They're trying to orchestrate it and bring it about. And these low-class, low-intellect, high-emotion geechies in the West and even in America, where they're constantly obsessed with white people, especially white men, they're going to just keep pushing this narrative. And the people that are ruled by their emotions, fear and anger and resentment, are just going to keep drinking this Kool-Aid up. So, I mean, look at it this way. If there were a bunch of Nigerians or Ghanaians, from West Africa that were here in America that were being terrorized by the KKK, the Klansmen, and the president from his country decided, maybe this isn't quite exactly the example, but pretty close. I'm trying to get as close as to what you can relate to here. He decided to act in their behalf and maybe put some refugees aside to save people, his own people, from being massacred or being terrorized further. Well, we'd say that was a good thing. We'd say he's a patriot and he's looking out for his people. He's not a racist or a black supremacist or any label like that. Another example, I go by I've gone by a number of Facebook pages, and anybody who's associated with leftist ideologies, they're and even on YouTube, those associated with leftist ideologies, I'll go in the comments section and see people cheering the deaths of whites. Cheering. I mean, they're glad it's happening, including children. So, excuse me for kind of being on this rant here. Yeah, it's just not right. And I really, Mr. Trump, I wish he'd do a little bit more here in the States where he's needed, and that's his main priority. I wish he'd do a little more here, and he's got about 2.5 years to do it. And maybe forget about the Epstein case and other people that are obsessed with that. Need to stop being obsessed with it. So, with that being said, yeah, there's a we really are being persecuted in our own areas, and there's this obsession too. Even with, as I see on social media, you can't post something if it's about whites. They're obsessed with people white. Any area where there's white Europeans are the dominant group, like here in the U.S. and Canada. They're not going to let that. They don't want that. Why? 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 And I always cringe when I see all these starting under the presidency of one Barack Hussein Obama, but it still has continued. Anything that catches mainstream news about like any involvement with a black person and a white cop, or white-looking cop like George Zimmerman, and some of them were. I mean, they weren't even what would be considered. They were mixed, and they were maybe looked white, kind of like me, I guess. I'm not even full-blooded European, just to throw that out there. I'm not full-blooded, but I'm mostly, and I don't think that what's happening right now to the whites in America is a good thing. It's not right. So I'm speaking up about it. I am speaking up about it and doing it without rancor or without apology. As I was kind of saying too about all this racial diversity, and when you hear about a cop being involved with a black person, there's another side of that story that's not reported by the news. They don't want you knowing about, and that's going to be black on white violence that's going to be happening as a result of what the media is producing. Again, white resentment, white hostility. I'm seeing it in the schools because I work there too. So I got a report on this. I got a report on it. It's not right. It needs to be addressed. And what I really want most of all is these white people, these white liberals, leftists, leftoids as I like to call them, that are promoting this narrative, promoting this divisiveness. That's who I want to get the brunt of my anger in these videos. They're the real ones. I understand from a kid's perspective why they can be, persuaded and indoctrinated to think something, to hate white people, to hate colonization. I get it. I get it. Okay? Kids are impressionable. So I'm gonna, yeah, I get it. As I say, I do try to understand. So with that, and I think I'm going to wrap this up. In my next videos, what I'm going to go into is my own theories on like ethno race and why I believe white culture, white European Western culture should be preserved and fought for. So stay tuned. All right. Later.